start recording. Sorry about that. So I'll kind of like, what are the benefits of portfolios, that navigation, that classroom workflow, and then talk about some resources. But then we can chit chat and have some Q&A at the end as well for any specific questions that you guys have. And then I'll post a survey link at the end too, if you guys want a PD certificate for your participation in this. I want to make sure I get that over to you guys as well. So, especially because both of you are pretty new with Bulb, a couple things about a portfolio is I want you guys to think about Bulb from the perspective is that it is for everyone. Now, my session today, I'm going to focus a lot on the student part of it, but we have professionals using Bulb. We have educators that are using it as a professional portfolio. We have kindergartners that are using it, and seniors in high school and college students. It really is that portfolio platform is something that is beneficial for all ages. And so that's just something to kind of keep in mind. The other thing I want you guys to think about in terms of portfolios is a portfolio is really a place to tell your story. And how I like to think about it is it's a place to showcase your best of your best, the things that you're proud of and that you want to leverage to say, this is who I am, and this is what I know, and this is what I can do. But it's also a place for reflection and growth and to be able to gather and organize work that you've done over time for you to really be able to see yourself as a learner and document experiences and document process and projects that you've done so that you can start to see and demonstrate that academic growth kind of all in one place. So it really has this dual purpose. And it all lives in one portfolio. And then we are a global company. We have students and educators and individuals in 100 different countries creating on Bulb. So it's exciting to see what everyone is working on. So first off, I just wanted to kind of point out some key technology, key terminology that we use with Bulb. I'm going to go through this in a second, but we're going to talk about profiles, templates, publishing, collections, pages, and groups. So those are some of the just like Bulb terms that you'll find yourself familiar with really, really quickly. So I'm actually going to move over here to show you Scarlett's portfolio. And this is what we call the profile page. So this is like the home page of a website or that landing page. You'll notice it's very personalized to Scarlett. She's able to customize, the imagery and be able to write a description. The URL here, so this is all online, right? So the URL is bulbapp.com/whatever your username is at Bulb. And so hers is Scarlett-Annenberg. And so this is the link to her profile page that takes you to her portfolio. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see Scarlett's name in blue. This indicates that I'm actually signed into Scarlett's portfolio. So I'm logged in to her portfolio right now. If I wasn't logged in, it would have like a little login or sign in button right there in the upper right-hand corner. This menu right here, the 3 lines, this is what we call the hamburger menu. And when you click on that, it kind of gives you a drop down with a lot of different options. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm going to highlight a couple that are key. And I'm going to actually start on the right-hand side under more. And here there's 2 things I want to point out. One is the Resource Center. So our Resource Center has hundreds of different templates, has user examples, user stories, YouTube videos, blogs, articles, lots of great rich resources for you to access. And so you can get to that under more. And then under settings here, usually settings is not really exciting, but I point out settings for one really particular reason. Bulb is a portfolio that goes with you for life. And what that really means is that no matter where you go, you get to take Bulb with you. So from a student perspective, if you have a student who transfers out of your district in the middle of the school year or moves from middle school to high school or graduates, they get to continue to take Bulb with them and keep all that work that they put into their portfolio. And so When we talk about creating ownership of work for students and for students to feel like the work that I did in school matters because this is something that I get to keep accessing and leveraging and being able to use, we want to make sure that they're not just throwing it away, or it's not just, kept in an account that's only accessible when they're in school. So most of your accounts will be set up through your school email address. And so one of the first things I teach teachers and students to do when they set up their portfolio is to come in here into their settings and just add a personal email. And that allows you to continue to sign into your portfolio with your school credentials, or you could also access it with your personal credentials, and allows you to take Bulb with you. So when you're disassociated with your school, then you can continue to access Bulb through that personal email address. Another little tip is no matter where you are in your portfolio, as long as you're signed in and you click on this Bulb logo, it will always take you back to that profile page. Okay, so let's talk about content. So that's the most important part of the portfolio, is what are you creating in terms of content? So you'll see these tiles down here in Scarlett's portfolio and these little icons with the double pieces of paper. And these tiles and the double piece paper icon indicate that these are collections. So collections are really like a folder. They're just an organizational structure within your portfolio. So you think about, you create folders or binders that are by like theme or class or topic. Well, you do the same thing in your portfolio. So Scarlett has remote learning, career exploration, science, world history, extracurriculars, career success. These are all different topics, and then she's going to put content inside these folders. It's also good to know that it's really easy to reorganize your portfolio at any time. So you don't have to create this really elaborate organizational structure and be like, I got to stick with this. So for example, I can reorder just by dragging and dropping tiles and have them in different order. I can also nestle things together. I can take this formulas for career success and stick it under extracurriculars and then open it up in here. And now when I open up my formula for career success, and Christine, I thought you might be interested in this just for your particular group as well. Like, here are individual pages that you could have, that students could have in their portfolios. They could have an about me page, a philosophy, their transcripts and certifications, professional organizations, awards and honors, community service, work samples, testimonials. And then they can have all of this to be able to really showcase their experiences. These right here are what we call breadcrumbs. So there's lots of different ways to navigate within Bulb. Breadcrumbs is one of them. So if I click on those extracurriculars again, it'll take me up a level. I can drag and drop this out of this collection and click on Scarlett, and now I have this back on that profile page. So it's easy to kind of get in and out of that work. If I open up this science collection here, you'll notice that I have a sub collection, because I have those double pieces of paper icon, a sub collection of biology, chemistry, and physics. And then I open up physics and I have 2 pages of content within those collections. So we've mostly just been looking at that organizational structure, those collections, but the core of your portfolio is your work, and that's what we call pages. So if I open up the key wave properties on this page, this is where I can add all that different kinds of multimedia. So you'll see a video that's embedded in here and text that's written right onto this Bulb page. There's a picture that's uploaded onto here. We support audio files and documents. There's lots of different things that you can put onto your Bulb page. So this is where the work really comes to life, where you're adding all of that content. And so that's called a page. And pages can live inside collections, and collections just organize all those pages together. At that bottom of the page, I just wanted to point out another navigation piece. You'll notice I have this previous icon that'll take me to another page in the collection. This was a lab report. Or I can click on this view collection icon and it'll take me back to that collection level. So that physics level here. And then again, these breadcrumbs, I can click on science and go back, or I can click on Scarlet again and go back to that profile page. Okay. So talking about the actual work in creating in Bulb, again, that happens at that page level. And there's kind of two easy ways to get started with this. One is to create a blank page. So I could open up, say, world history here. I have lots of pages already in here. I can click on this blue create page icon. And now I have a blank page. Maybe I'm going to create an about me page and I'm going to start typing. And this is how I can type in the page, and I can add different types of media elements, and I can start from scratch. It can be anything that I create. But one of our most popular ways to create content in Bulb is to actually use a template. And so a template is really that starting point. It's a page that was created by another user that has like some pre-formatting on it to give me a little bit of a direction on what kind of content I want to create. So teachers can create templates, other users can create templates, and then you simply copy that template into your portfolio to then be able to create the work. So I wanted to show you a couple examples of templates. And so I'm actually going to show you some around ICEV because this is something that's applicable to Nancy in particular. So we actually have over 200 different free templates that can be used. ICEV, which is one of our big partners at Bulb, has created these templates. But Christine, these templates are all free and available. So if there's templates here that are applicable to what your students are doing, they can use these as well. So here's an example of one that ICV created. This is about a career plan in business management administration. And so they've simply created a Bulb page with like this pre-formatting on it. So it has the assignment and then the job thing. And so the student's going to come over here and click on use template and copy this template into their portfolio. And then they'll be able to edit. And they'll be able to say, I want to be a marketing manager. And then they'll be able to talk about their short and long-term goals and fill it in and indicate all the education that's required in it and what experience. And there's some reflection questions at the bottom. So this is what a template looks like. And I'll show you as well within ICV. Health sciences specifically for you, Nancy, in here. These are all the health science templates that have all been pre-made for you that are based on all the projects that are within the ICEV curriculum. So you can use any of these and assign these to your students. So hand washing, making an occupied bed, providing mouth care, all of these different templates are available. And then something you may be interested in, well, Christine, is this career exploration collection here. So there's lots of great templates in here about exploring all different kinds of careers. So we'll just go to health science because we're in here, but here are 3 different projects about journaling and career planning and career exploration in the health sciences that are all available here. So these are all templates, and you can tell they're a template because of these double square icons right here. That indicates that you can, someone can copy this template into their portfolio and use it as a starting point. Another example of a template is this About Me template here. So our resource library has hundreds of different templates. One of them is included in this About Me template. And so this is a little bit different style of template. You'll notice that it's like here, insert your name, and you can, go and explain a little bit more about you. And then we use a lot of graphics and images in here to encourage students to be like, now you're going to add a picture of yourself. And here's a way to add a video or describe something that you've done. And here's, talk about your family and your successes. And so here's an image carousel of different things that you might be interested in your future. So again, they'll just click on use template here and be able to copy this in their portfolio. So a lot of people want to know in terms of getting started, okay, I love this idea about templates, but how do I then assign this a template to my students? And so the easiest way is to be able to utilize the learning management system that you're already using with your students this year. And so it doesn't matter if it's Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Canvas, Schoology, It's Learning. We work with all different learning management systems. And so this is how the general workflow works. You as a teacher either create a template that you're going to have your students use, or you're going to find a template in our resource library or in our search within Bulb, or find it, from ICV. And you're just simply going to get the URL for that page, right? So I'm going to assign this About Me template to my student. And I'm just showing Google Classroom right now, but again, this is in any learning management system. I'm going to create an assignment in my learning management system, and I'm going to simply just paste that link to that Bulb page and assign it to my students, right? Then my students, just like they do for all their other assignments, they're going to go into their learning management system and say, oh, this time my teacher is going to have me create an About Me page in Bulb. And so I'm going to click on the link that the student has, or excuse me, the teacher has posted in that assignment. And it's going to take me to the template page, and I'm going to click on Use Template here. And now it has made a copy of that page. See, I'm Scarlett, signed in as Scarlett. And now this Student About Me template now lives inside my portfolio. And it's in draft form, and now I can edit it and add all the different content that I want. So I can delete the helper text in here. I can add my name. I can say that I'm in Colorado. Can't spell. Colorado. I can come in here and maybe even delete an image here. I can highlight text, and that's how I get my formatting toolbar. So I can bold, I can use this T icon here to do different fonts and a handful of different colors, and do some headers, bullets, numbers, hyperlinks, all within my text. If I put my cursor on my page and hit return or enter, this is how I add different pieces of media. So I can add an image. And I will say we have a ton of our students who love to create their portfolios on their phones and like to access their camera roll because they've had pictures that they've taken of something that they've written or done, or taken a video of them demonstrating a skill. And so you can sign into Bulb on your phone. We work on all devices. And then when you click on image and you click upload, it takes you directly to your camera roll. So it's an easy way to get pictures and videos and everything into your Bulb pages. This web search is really popular too. People love to use it for those big cover images on the top of your pages and collections. So you can say like, I love the ocean. And these are all filtered images. They're also royalty free, so you have permission to be able to use them. And they're also high quality photography images that come in here. And as you put in an image, it automatically cites your source for you. So it tells you the photographer and where you got it from. You can also caption images here as well. And I have a webinar, I think it's in about 2 weeks, that's going all about how to add media and all the best tips and tricks. So we won't get into it a ton today, but you can, I have videos recorded on YouTube with lots of information about it, or you can join one of our live webinars in a couple weeks on it as well. You can add all different kinds of files. Audio is one of our most popular features as well. It really allows you to bring voice to the page. So I can say, I'm just going to record an audio reflection, or explain a process, or talk about what I learned, and record it right there. And then that audio file will show up right on your Bulb page as well. So as you're creating these pages with your text and your multimedia, it's automatically being saved, but no one can see your page. It's in draft form. It's in draft form. Sorry, the audio's still processing right now, but you have to then publish your page to be able to give it an audience. So that's kind of that last piece of that terminology. So we talked about collections, we talked about pages, and now we're going to talk about publishing. So once you've created a page, as a student, I'm going to want to probably publish this page and then turn it into my teacher so that my teacher can give me feedback on it. So here's the best way to be able to do that. When I'm ready, I'm going to come up here and click on that blue publish in that upper right-hand corner. And now I have the choice of who I want to make my page visible to. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the different options, but I'm going to tell you the most popular one that most people use. So as teachers, you'll have the ability to publish it to the public. So if you create great content or templates and you want to make it available for other teachers, you can publish it to the public. If you want to only make your pages available to other Bulb users within your school, that would be under organizations. You could publish it to just within your organization. If you want to create a group of members, whether it's your students or your PLC group, you can publish a page to that particular group. As a student, say you want to publish your page directly to your teacher, or maybe you're doing a group project and you want to publish your page to other kids in the class to be able to get feedback. You just simply type in that teacher's Bulb username. And then now I've shared this page directly with my teacher. But the most popular way to publish in Bulb is using this private share link. And so when I clicked on that blue private share link button, you'll see now I have this URL right here. This is a very special URL. And what it really does is it says anyone who has this link can view my page. And so that means that I can copy this link and I can turn it into my learning management system. So I'll show you that in just a second. It also means that if as a student, I am trying to get an internship or filling out an application for a job or for college admissions or for a scholarship, I can create a page or a collection in my portfolio that's specific around those particular topics and publish it with a private link and then copy this link and paste that on those applications or on a presentation. And then anyone who clicks on that would be able to view my work, but they would only be able to view this one page. Or if I did it at the collection level, they'd only be able to view the collection. And so you have a lot of control over each part of your portfolio. So that's why you can kind of have everything together and then only showcase certain parts that you might want to showcase for different audiences or different purposes. So that private share link becomes really, really powerful. So in a classroom environment, if this was a page that I needed to turn into my teacher for an assignment, I'd publish as a private link. I'd copy this clipboard. I'd click on publish right here. And now I'd go into my learning management system and I would paste that private share link into the submission section for the assignment, whatever that looks like within your own LMS, and turn that in. And now the teacher can then go into their learning management system and see all the links that the students turned in and go and view each individual student's page and be able to leave them comments and feedback and be able to view all of that work within the platform that they've been used to using all year long. So going back to Scarlett's portfolio here, if I come back and I say, hey, I would really love to publish and share all of these pages in this collection for an internship, say, at that collection level, there's a more icon here. And I can come in here and create that private share link just like I did at the page level. and I can copy this link, and now all the published pages inside this collection can be shared with this one link. And I can say, hey, I want to share this entire collection out, or just an individual page. I know that's a lot. Publishing, there's a lot of choices and stuff around that. We have a lot of great help videos and help pages around the publishing piece too. So we've really kind of talked about the big basic things that are within Bulb: the collections, the pages, the templates, and publishing. Just kind of a recap. Great ways for students to use Bulb: digital notebooking, demonstrating those skills and competencies, documenting that process. Again, we talked about that difference between collecting and reflecting on your growth and setting goals and being able to think about things that you're interested in and making connections, and then also having showcase pieces that you might want to share out beyond the classroom, and be able to showcase those for those scholarships, internships, and admissions applications. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to just show you a couple great resources, and then if you guys have any questions, we can dig into those too. And I know we're going over just a few minutes, but there are, and let me chat these to you guys as well so that you have these links. And you probably will have to, let's see, that income. I'm going to share that bit.ly and see if it'll come across a little bit better. You'll have to copy, I think, the bit.ly link. It's not a hyperlink in there, but I have two great resources for you. One is our Let's Get Started collection. So there is information about creating an account, learning Bulb, all the help resources you need, more resources, talks about groups and learning management systems and all of that. But most importantly in here is this pre-made lesson for you to introduce Bulb to your students. So the first thing is a teacher lesson plan that you can access. And this lesson was designed to be about 1 to 2 classes. If you use the videos, it's about 40 minutes of video content, and it's everything from what is a portfolio, what are the benefits, what do I put in it, all the way through navigation, personalizing your portfolio, editing and adding media, publishing the works. And so there's activities that are inside of this. So there's a Padlet allowing you to say, what's the purpose of a portfolio? You can have your students explore other students' portfolios and find things that they like about it. And then it will actually walk you through all of the different components of getting started on Bulb. So you can look at the teacher lesson and then you can make a choice. This student lesson was designed where you can take this URL, and if you're asynchronous right now and you want the students, they can watch these. They're a couple minute long videos, and then there's an activity that goes along with each of them. So you could take this and put this in your learning management system, this URL right here, and say, okay, students, I want you to go through these 9 tiles and do the lessons that are associated with them. Or some of my teachers show these videos in class and then do the activities together in class. So the first page is a student instructions page on how to navigate, what the goal of the lesson is, what they're going to be doing. And then for a lot of students, it's helpful. They can actually print this document, and there's a checklist of all the activities they do after each of the videos. And then you'll see in here as well, here's the Padlet that's embedded within Bulb. And so you can have them do an activity. What's the purpose of a portfolio? You'll see a bunch of students in here. So they'll be able to see other students' work from other schools listed in here. And they just click on that pink plus sign and they can add their own pieces to the tiles here. They can watch a video about what portfolios are all about, explore these different portfolios. And then here's an example of They watch a quick video, and then there's usually written instructions that summarize some of the key points from the video, and then activities that go along with each of it. So that's all in that getting started collection, and it's all done and ready for you to be able to use with students. Okay, I know I talked super, super fast. But hopefully we covered a few of the key things, and I hope it sparked a few questions. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you went to the um, little thing at the top that had more on there, I
Mm-hmm.
was kicked off for like a couple of seconds, so I missed what you said there.
Yes, let me show you. Okay, so when I click on, I call it the hamburger menu, that 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner, and you go to more, you can access our resource center right here. And in settings, this is where, when I talked about Bulb goes with you and students get to keep this portfolio and teachers get to keep this portfolio, when your students start on Bulb, and this is in that student introduction lesson as well, it has them go into the settings. And most of the time you want students to create their accounts with their school email, because a lot of times they'll have like a single sign-on, maybe it's through Microsoft um, or Google or ClassLink or Clever or something like that. So they kind of access all their apps in the same place, but then they can add a personal email. And then if they ever get detached from the school, whether they transfer or graduate, that's how they take Bulb with them. Now they have that personal email associated, and they can sign into their account with their personal email.
When a student chooses a template, one of your existing templates to copy,
Mm-hmm.
they are able to edit the copy, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, and then I wanted to know, are there any filters against or that would notify you about anything negative in a portfolio?
Mm. So we can you see this little flag piece
I
here?
can.
Yeah, so we have like a flagging system that allows people to report different types of content, inappropriate, inaccurate, copyright infringement, stuff like that. So if anybody comes across things that are inappropriate, things like that, um, they can report that. And then we didn't get into any of this at all, but there are some administrator tools um, where you can use our administrator dashboard, and they can sign in and they can see usage, and they kind of have a more holistic view of all the different accounts within the dashboard. And there's some tools within there as well that give you some options to be able to monitor things that are going on.
Okay. And you said that you are able to change the language?
Yes. Yeah, I actually didn't show that at all. There's kind of a couple places you can change it on the first sign-in page so that everything is there. Also, I can show it to you in the settings. I believe we're up to about 9 languages now. Dutch and Spanish, French, Portuguese. So you can change language. Now it changes all the bulb navigation, doesn't necessarily translate any content. So like if you write your content in English, you would have to use a web translator if you wanted to translate any of that content, but it does translate all the bulb platform into those languages. Those are great. Any other questions?
So how do we find out about packaging or pricing or
Hmm.
anything like that?
Yeah, I will I'll send you an email, and I'll connect you with your ed tech solutions specialist in your area, and they can send you pricing and information. And then if you want to set up a demo with them to like get into the admin dashboard and kind of talk about some of those things, they're available to be able to do that as well. That's great. Nancy, any questions
Yes.
you have? Oh, go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to find out, would I need to ask for a package since I'm with ICEV already, or how does that work since
Yes.
my students are already partly with the program?
Right. So the first thing, have you already filled out the form to say that you were interested in the ICV Bold partnership? Does that sound familiar at all? I'm trying to
I
pull it up.
think I filled out something in January,
Mm,
but I'm not sure if I got feedback because I don't think I got, I attended maybe, I think it was 4 sessions that they offered with ICEV at the beginning of January, but
got
I
it.
only received one of the certifications, so I don't know if my request went through
Okay.
back in January.
Okay. I'm going to Slack you a URL. So the best thing to do is to go to this sign up page that I just Slacked you. And
Okay.
just click on this get exclusive access button. And it's a really short form. I think it's like a couple questions. And it pretty much is going to ask for your name, email, and school. And
Okay.
that's going to send an email to Bulb. And we're going to send you a follow-up email that's going to give you a really unique URL. And that's how you're going to have your students create an account.
Oh, you know what? I think I did get
Oh, good.
one back in January. It's that we were trying to get things done with our school district, and I couldn't concentrate on watching or completely dedicating myself to the presentations that all of you had.
Yeah.
So I remember signing up, and I remember them sending me an email already. Do I use that one then for all my students, or only
Yep.
for example, like the beginner students or the upperclassmen students?
Yep, it's the same URL for all of your students. And you can even give that URL to other teachers at your campus or within your district if they want to try Bulb as well.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
because that URL is specific for Mission CISD. So that's kind of for everyone through this ICEV partnership. So
Oh,
uh,
okay.
Christine, just so you know, the ICV is a career and technical education curriculum provider, and we've recently partnered with them, and we're doing a big promotion this spring where any of those ICV subscribers, so I don't know if you use any of that in your school district or not, but any of the ICV subscribers get free access to Bulb through the spring. So that's what Nancy's kind of talking about in that. And so, yeah, if you use that sign up URL and it's going to, oh, hold on, it's not going to work because I'm signed in, but let me sign out. I'll kind of just quickly show you what that's going to look like. So you'll give that URL to all your students.
Okay.
And it's going to take them to a page that'll look really similar to this. But the URL is a little bit longer. There'll be some special letters and numbers at the end because it's specific for your school district.
Okay.
And then they'll go, and I don't know, do you guys use Google or Microsoft?
We use Google.
Your Google School. Okay. So they can just click on this Google icon right here. And then they'll be able to, it'll pull up a modal and they'll be like, oh, here's my Google account. And it'll create an account where then what we call single sign on, every time they go back to sign into Bulb, they can just click on that Google button and click on their Google account and it'll sign them into their portfolio. And so that's how they will create their Bulb accounts. And then from there, you can assign them. Let me just say, I'll show you something with an ICV, Nancy, that I think will think was really cool, but I want to make sure, Christine, as I get into that, you're more than welcome to stay on and see it, but did you have any other questions?
Just how would you know whether or not you're a partner or not? Because I know right now when we switched to a total virtual platform because of COVID, there were a lot of resources and a lot of platforms that some were purchased, some are in that like trial basis or whatever. So
Yeah.
how would you know whether or not your system actually bought the platform?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me find out if I could ask ICV if they know if you have certain teachers who have subscribed to the platform, and your CTE director might know as well if they have teachers who subscribe, because it's really for like specific CTE courses that the curriculum that they provide.
Right. I was
Uh,
just wondering because I know they were viewing something like virtual job shadow. Have you ever heard of that?
no, but sounds cool.
Okay,
Yes, I
they were
have
Oh, you have,
heard
Nancy?
of
yeah,
virtual
they were
job.
looking yeah, they looked at that and they were looking at something similar that could feed into the CUDA program and different things like that, at least from the